Someone asked me the other day if I believe in heaven and hell, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of clapback for this, but from a Christian religious perspective, no. From a consciousness perspective, and from the way that Jesus spoke in parables and in code, yes. To me, to believe that our Creator, our Source, our God would condemn us to burn for eternity is literally insanity. Now, Christian fundamentalists will have you believe that heaven and hell are literal places that you go when you die. And for the record, I grew up in an evangelical Lutheran Christian home, a very strict religious upbringing. So I have a lot of knowledge about the Christian faith, the evangelical Lutheran Christian faith, as well as other denominations of Christianity. That said, I personally do not subscribe to the religious structures of Christianity, but I do believe in the teachings of Christ. From my personal perspective, all spiritual truths are not so much as literal, but they are dimensions of reality or dimensions of our consciousness. I mean, you can't really break down a spiritual truth into something that is digestible to the human mind and language anyways. You cannot articulate accurately the essence of divinity. But hey, you will only ever hear what you're ready to hear. So if you're not ready to hear something, even like some of the most basic spiritual concepts like oneness, or we're all one, or that we are all God, then you'll figure it out one day, I hope. But if you're not ready to hear it, then I probably sound ridiculous, and that's okay. But to me, that's precisely why Jesus spoke in parables. The nature of it being a story or a parable challenges you to look beyond the surface level. Like when Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but those on the outside will only perceive it as the parable," or something like that. So do I believe in heaven and hell from what 90% of Christians today believe in the version that they believe heaven and hell to be? No. But do I believe in heaven and hell? Yes. And I believe that we have all been to heaven and hell many times in this lifetime and other lifetimes. It is not a contract you have and you only have one chance to get it right, and if you get it wrong, then you're going to burn for eternity in a physical location. It is a state of consciousness. It is a choice that you're making in your mind every single day. So hell is not a literal place. It is a state of being, a state of consciousness that we experience when we deny the God within ourselves. Likewise, the boundary line between heaven and where earth starts is all in the mind, or the boundary line between where heaven starts and hell begins is in your consciousness. The teachings of Christ were about seeing the world through God's eyes, which is only through love, unconditional love, and non-judgment. Heaven is a state of remembering or raising our consciousness to realize that we are not separate. Jesus says many times that the root of all sin starts in the mind. Therefore, sin is a frame of mind, a way of thinking. Like when he said, if you even look at another woman with lust, then you are already committing adultery, because sin is in the mind. And to repent literally means change the way you think. So the only thing that you need to save you from eternal damnation or hell or suffering is a changed state of consciousness and thinking to love and oneness. And there has to be a choice involved in the matter, because in order to experience one of them, there has to be an opposite. So this goes back to Hermetic principles, principle of polarity. There has to be an opposite. So in order to experience heaven, you have to make the choice to experience heaven and oppose hell. It's a choice in your thinking, a choice in your consciousness. I hope that this made a little bit of sense in my personal beliefs on heaven and hell, But if you guys want to go check out my YouTube, I'm at The Cosmic Rose. I will be breaking things like this down a little bit further and more in depth in further videos over there. Also, as always, if you guys want to book personal readings with me, you can shoot me a DM or an email, and we can set that up for you for tarot and or astrology. I love you.